On the evening of January 6th, 2021, in Washington, D.C., the police department there started physically locking up Trump supporters in their hotels, apparently in an attempt at enforcing a curfew. Now, this happened at multiple hotels, but we only have one video. If you know of another video of this happening, please let me know, send it to me. The only video that I have of this is fairly poor quality, but bear with it because you really must see this.
Whoa, shit!
That's a fire hazard. Look
Fire
what
hazard.
Officer Weinfeld did for us. He gave us a fire hazard. Now we can't come out. Yeah. What happened there?
Now just look at this. What was their crime? It's false imprisonment. It's actually kidnapping by police. And I can think of another instance in which this happened in another country. You know, China. When we saw over in China, when the police there were actually forcibly locking people, in some cases welding them inside of their buildings. And we were all outraged, rightly I might add. And now, already it's happening here in Washington, D.C. And I should add, this is unconstitutional. If there's anybody out there who cares about the Constitution anymore, it seems like most police departments don't. But you cannot deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And they were deprived of their liberty without due process. It's incredibly illegal. Now, the law enforcement officer who you saw there had a ponytail. Did you see that? Like, I'm just gonna say, if a guy has a ponytail, he's probably not the best law enforcement material. You know, I remember back when simply having a tattoo would disqualify you from law enforcement and from military. And I will say that things have changed, and not for the better. This story of kidnapping by police wasn't covered by the mainstream media. And I might add, now that I think about it, I don't think the kidnapping over in China was really covered much by the mainstream media either, was it? I don't think so. But on January 6th, what were the media instead covering? They were too busy to talk about this kidnapping, too busy talking about how bad Trump supporters are. Because now suddenly, I don't know if you've noticed, but the police are the good guys. Now that they're being abusive and aggressive, it's okay because they're being abusive and aggressive toward Trump supporters, and that makes them the good guys. This is the way that the mainstream media has been playing things. And Trump supporters, I think, got a rude awakening on January 6th, those who went to Washington at least, about backing the blue. If you haven't already, watch my video about what really happened on January 6th. It's only available on alternative video sites, and I implore you to watch it. Now, I never saw police ever treat Antifa this way. I never saw them ever lock Black Lives Matter or Antifa supporters inside of their hotels throughout all of their rioting, throughout, 2020, 2019, like ever. And by the way, I'm not saying that they should have. I think that if somebody's doing something wrong, they should be arrested and, charged and have an actual trial, as opposed to being locked in a hotel by a bar. I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to work in this country. But apparently, and it looks like, the mayor's order about a curfew, which was supposed to be about shutting down businesses, well, police took that to maximally stomp on the people's rights to free movement. Like, they just took it as an excuse to wield their power, basically. Because the mayor told the city to close up shop, and the police took the extra step, like decided that that meant to put people in chains, it would seem. Mayor Muriel Bowser, by the way, that's the mayor of Washington, D.C., has supported the far-left Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, she even renamed part of 16th Street Northwest as Black Lives Matter Plaza. Yeah, can you imagine her doing White Lives Matter Plaza? I can't. Moreover, she fiddled as her city burned from the riots caused by that very organization that she named a block after. The police, in this case, the people who locked people in their hotels, should be charged criminally. They committed a criminal act. You can't just kidnap somebody, you can't just lock them in their hotel. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a badge or not. In fact, it could be argued that if people had shot the police in this case, that it would have been self-defense. Those people who were screaming about a fire hazard, they were right. It was a fire hazard. You can't kidnap somebody and just lock them in some random building or the building that they're currently in. What do you think would have happened if these police officers had stumbled across Trump supporters doing this to Antifa, locking them in buildings or in apartments or what have you? In the very least, It would have involved, being tased and pepper sprayed, etc. But the police do it, and it's okay. In fact, the mainstream media don't even cover it. It's like it never really happened. But the rules of engagement are different. Where Trump supporters are concerned, there are no rules. Where leftists are concerned, there's no interference. It's quite the opposite. And that's what you're backing when you back the blue in the modern age. I'm tired of all this stuff about how, well, they're just doing their jobs. No, it's not the job of the police to infringe upon individual citizens and their rights. It's certainly not their job to violate the Constitution. I think it's time to speak out and say, no, these individual cops are responsible for the actions that they choose, and they should be prosecuted criminally in cases like this. Wait, if you enjoyed that video, please remember to like and share. I can't grow without you. Also, if you want to be reliably notified of new videos, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. If you're able to support the production of these videos, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe at Subscribestar, or maybe get one of the healthier products, or even get some merch.